Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, brought to you by Muscle Tech and also brought to you by this book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2. Over 700 pages, everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and PED use, available on Amazon.com. While you're on Amazon, pick up my book, Real Bodybuilding. Great book. And now, all the way from Athens, Greece, soon to be making his way to Orlando, Florida, USA for the Olympia, please welcome Dr. George Touliatos. What's up, Doc?
I'm good, Ron. So 2 more weeks, right?
Yeah. I have to heal quick because I got to run around at the Olympia.
How's your fit?
I have so the leg the leg was in a brace. It's still in a brace, but I started physical therapy a couple weeks ago. If I really push it, I get to like a 70-degree bend. Without really straining, it's like a 60-degree bend.
Are you able to sit on the toilet? Are you able to sit on the toilet?
Oh, I've had to. I mean, the right leg is like straight out in front of me, and it's awkward. But no, I can't. The doctor. I see my surgeon again. So this airs on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I see my surgeon because tomorrow's going to be 6 weeks post surgery. So he's going to look at the brace. He's going to look at it and finally unlock the brace so I can start to bend. That brace with the dial on it that lets you bend a certain amount. So. Yeah, I don't think I'll be as quick as I normally am. Normally you see how fast I walk around at these things. Yeah, I won't be that quick. But yeah, so you're part of Olympia University, and that's a 2-day event, correct?
Yes. And we have Thomas O'Connor, of course, and Rick Collins, and I'm fascinated. I mean, I'm excited. It's fascinating because my first time, eventually, I will speak to Thomas. We've been interacting since 2017 when Bill Welling picked both of us, and to me he was a surprise, but he was doing a great job since then. And we've been 3 times in muscular development, I believe. We've been writing also in muscular development since 2019, in 2020, I guess. And it's gonna be great. I mean, don't miss the opportunity because you guys are going to have the best in the business and the fitness industry about the knowledge stuff, that you rarely find, and you pay lots of money to other doctors.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And you find very rarely because few doctors know this stuff.
Oh, very, very few. I mean, that's why bodybuilders don't even like to go to the doctor because they know they're just going to face judgment and ignorance usually. On the part of the doctor. It's like your article, Why Doctors Hate Testosterone. Remember that?
Yes.
All right. Well, this is Ask Dr. Testosterone. It's a very rare opportunity for you guys to ask questions of a medical doctor who's also a champion bodybuilder. So let's get right to it. This is a good one because bodybuilders use insulin left and right. But do you know of any studies with insulin use in healthy adults? It's common in bodybuilding lately. But is there any permanent suppression long term?
No, there's no suppression. You have to understand that actually using insulin in a healthy individual, well, you can use to diabetes type 2, but this is a failure because usually you should reverse this and do not use insulin. Now, people who are obese and use metformin do not eat properly, do not follow the diet, and do not exercise, and then move to insulin, which is a failure. But if a healthy individual like a bodybuilder uses insulin, actually what it does is giving a break to pancreas to overreact. But of course, abusing insulin will give you visceral fat. Like when you eat a lot and you boost your own insulin, you make visceral fat, you become a fat guy. So becoming obese makes visceral fat out of your insulin. When you inject exogenous insulin and you overblow it, then you make also visceral fat. And this is a phenomenon of the bodybuilders. Okay. But no, giving a little bit of insulin to somebody who, let's say 5 units to a guy who's 220. Okay. Rests a little bit the pancreas. However, insulin can be inflammatory. Okay. It matters how you use it and how to eat. So Milos supports the healthy eating with insulin. Okay. Not to overdo it. And that's why don't mess up your midsection. While eating cookies and donuts, will make you. Yeah, in the long run, will give you visceral fat, which is inflammation, actually.
Yeah, that's the biggest mistake I made because I was an idiot. It was about 6 winters ago. I got up to my all-time high body weight. I was like 248, almost 250 pounds. And, I'm not even 5'8" anymore, but I was using insulin 20 units before the workout with my carb shake, 20 units after the workout. This is a lot. I was an idiot with cookies. And I got.
But you have to understand that insulin make you fat if you use it in the wrong way. And also insulin will make you hypoglycemic and pass out if you abuse it.
Right.
So to avoid this, you need to have the proper nutrition, not candies, but you need to have sweet potato, brown rice, okay, maltodextrin as well, the amino acids, the creatine, the glutamine, the leucine, okay, and not just eat chocolate.
Yeah.
All right. This is no benefit out of this.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to put it out there because it is very dangerous. Oh, there have been bodybuilders who have passed out or even gotten in car accidents and died.
That was my perfect example that he misused perhaps and he judged wrongly. Yeah. And always I'm telling first eat and then inject your insulin to have in your bloodstream enough of glucose to suck it up. Otherwise, you don't have enough time to eat and you're going to faint on this process.
Yeah. You could die. It's a hypoglycemia. You go into a diabetic coma. And if no one's there to put like glucose tabs under your tongue, you could die.
That's why I'm telling that insulin along with diuretics are very dangerous, but you need to know how to use them. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. All right. Next one is a really good question. I'm not sure we've ever actually addressed it this way. When are you actually going to feel and see the gains of your cycle? I finished my first week of 350 milligrams Testosterone pinning twice and 50 milligrams anavar every day. Have seen no side effects. The pump is different, and I've noticed I have more strength comparing than previous weeks before I start blasting. So he's only been on 1 week.
Are you kidding me? You need more than a month. Come on.
Okay. Well, this is why.
I mean, it's not like pressing a button when you use a cycle and I mean, expect to blow up like this. Okay, it takes a lot of time. Yeah. Okay, with the cycle, at least in 8 weeks, you're gonna see some difference depending on how you eat, how you sleep, and how you train. Yeah. What supplements you take. Come on.
Yeah, and we actually discussed this last week with cypionate and different esters. Things like a tranacetate or even a testosterone propionate or orals. You'll feel those pretty quickly, but you'll start seeing like water retention within a few days. But to actually like see real muscle gain, it's gonna, even with the shorter esters like that, it's gonna take a couple of weeks to see anything. Yeah. So 1 week, no, not enough time. Personally, if you're, and I try to steer people away from orals. I try to say just inject. It's much safer on your body. So if you're using like a Testosterone and a Deca, as we said last week, it might be about 2 or 3 weeks before you really see and feel any difference.
Yeah, the first month, yes. First month.
So be patient, guys. All right, here we go. Doc, 49-year-old male on TRT at 105 milligrams per week, split into daily injections. Feel great and look good. Total test is 1,000 trough level. Would bumping my total test to 1,500 trough level produce any material muscle gain results in a 10 to 12-week period, or is this small increase not material, assuming training, sleep, diet remain the same?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you notice some difference over 2,000, the double amount of testosterone, that even with 250 milligrams of testosterone, 300 is the minimal dose of a cycle. But you're going to feel a difference in your sex drive, okay, in your mood. But, well, if you keep this protocol all year round, then yes, progressively you may notice an increase in strength and perhaps looking leaner if you eat clean.
He's looking to gain 3 to 4 pounds of lean muscle mass.
Well, in the long run with TRT, you will, believe me, but you have to be really patient. Don't consider TRT as a cycle. Come on, this is the wrong perception. That's why doctors don't like testosterone. That's one of the reasons, okay?
Well, they don't like it when we bodybuilders try to bump up their TRT doses for gains, because that's not what medicine's about. Medicine's about healing and living, surviving. But that's interesting. 105 milligrams a week gets this guy to a 1,000 trough level. Is that ordinary?
Yeah, I mean, he has he's a small, I had a guy who was 5'5", 150 pounds, small dude, okay?
Yeah.
He was using an amount of transdermal testosterone And to other guys, this brings you 800. To this guy, it was 2,500.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's a small dude, perhaps, and he metabolized really fast, this thing. So it's up also to the body mass index.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because on the other hand, I remember O'Connor said he had one patient who
600.
metabolized the testosterone too efficiently. Just to get him to a high normal level, he had to take 600 milligrams of test a week.
Crazy. Yeah? Or the other hand, you use testosterone, but you cannot suppress this HBG. So you need to use a higher dose. And it seems like you blast. But even though people have 1,000 total, it doesn't tell the truth. And the bloody urologists do not know this, which is a basic thing. The total testosterone does not work, okay? No. It has cuffings with SHBG. So the liberate, the free testosterone is the one liberated, the free. Yeah. It's the one that works. So people who follow a keto diet or fasting or are alcoholics or take metformin or thyroxine have elevated SHBG, and they can need a higher dose of testosterone. Yeah. Or perhaps Proviron that's not available in the States.
Yeah. I suspect that in the USA, most of the doctors who are really well versed in this, the way you are, they work for TRT clinics. They're not urologists. They're not endocrinologists.
Okay, Charlie knows that. He's the best in the business about prostate. And he knows that. This is the dilemma of many doctors who face prostate cancer. But the patient has almost zero tanked free testosterone and a high total. And they're afraid to administrate. However, this patient feels lousy because this total testosterone does not work simply. Yeah. And it's inactive, okay?
It boggles my mind that such a simple concept is not being grasped by
many doctors. Do not even try to test the free testosterone.
I mean, God, these guys went to medical school, residency. They're all very, very smart people. Anyway, let's move on. What's your favorite brand of human growth hormone?
Well, I've tried the best brands. I've tried Serostim, I've tried Genotropin, I've tried Humotrop, and I think the most expensive is by Lilly, the Humotrop. All right. Also Sizen from Italy I've tried also a long time ago for a brief period of time. Okay.
Yeah. I'm curious, have you ever used generic or have you always used pharma grade GH?
Yeah, for 2 years I was using periodically around 1 pen per month.
Wow.
Of Genotropin.
Well, that's not that much. It's 36 IUs.
Right? Yeah, but since 2020, I'm using all year round an underground, which is tested actually, and it boosted the IGF-1. Okay.
Yeah, I mean because we get a lot of generic. It's so generic that they come in a box. There's no label, nothing. It's just a glass bottle, no label.
All you got to do is check out the IGF-1. Come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can do that. But I'm saying, people ask, what's your favorite brand? And they'll say the blue tops or the yellow tops, and they're just referring to the color of the plastic on top because there's no labels or anything on these things we get. Anyway, here we go. Dr. Touliatos often states that testosterone is needed for mental focus. Will TRT help prevent senility or Alzheimer's disease?
Absolutely. This is a good question. Actually, I looked up in her doc's book. Testosterone improves the synapses, which is the conjunctions between the neurons. Okay, so you can diminish the brain atrophy and the Alzheimer, which is not just amnesia, but it's much worse.
Yeah.
Improves, of course, the cognitive function, and of course, you can stack it with DHEA also, which is very promising for Alzheimer. Yeah. And Proviron also that boosts the free testosterone, improves the self-esteem, the cognitive function. Yeah, and what is the other word of amnesia? Come on, the
dementia.
Dementia, much worse. Yeah, so you can avoid dementia, I believe so, with testosterone, but a proper dose, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are they looking into that as legitimate treatment for dementia and Alzheimer's?
No. But I believe there are strong points that you can avoid this as a preventative rule. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't believe that neurologists are aware of this or have digged up, but definitely testosterone is neuroprotective and also estradiol, which is that's why you don't need to crash estrogens. Okay, control them, but do not crash. Estradiol is neuroprotective. Oh. And the AI haters are gonna love me by saying this, and perhaps we're gonna discuss this in Orlando with Dr. Jordan Grant, which is a urologist. But you should not abuse it. Definitely abuse. I mean, you should not cross the estradiol, because estrogens are also neuroprotective and give you the good mood. The point is not super high, not super low.
Yeah, because I mean, it's also true that a certain amount of estrogen or estradiol is necessary for
yes,
muscle
that's why
growth.
testosterone is perfect for TRT and not bloody trembolone or bloody DECA that some people believe. It's bullshit totally. Come on. We produce testosterone. We lack of testosterone. We supplement testosterone. That's all.
Yeah. Fair enough. Wow, we get this question like in some form or another every week. Can you tell in what milligrams should be taken SERMs in PCT? Because there are different pills in milligrams. For example, clomiphene comes in 50 and 25 milligrams. The correct dose for PCT is 12.5 milligrams clomiphene with 5 milligrams tamoxifen or Novadex.
Also, yeah, I believe the lowest is the better. Okay.
That's a loud phone.
Excuse me. I believe the lowest is the better. Okay. So if you say that it's 25 milligrams and you cut it in half, then you have 12.5, which is good.
Yeah.
Because the more is not better with SERMs. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't work this way. I've explained that it elevates SVG and it's counterproductive for the free testosterone.
Okay. Second part of the question is, why take clomiphene with tamoxifen or Novadex together? Can't clomiphene alone be taken in higher milligram, for example, 25 milligrams for 2 weeks?
I'm saying it doesn't mean that more is better, but tamoxifen also does the same job. It's a SERM. Okay, so you have also two weapons. Tamoxifen is able to increase testosterone, yes.
Okay.
Through the brain, of course.
Doctor, does protein and calories need to go up on a cycle versus off cycle? I watched Krizo's video where he said he consumed 450 grams of protein per day for contest prep, which to me is a crazy amount.
It's not a crazy for somebody who has to eat 3 grams of protein and he is 120 kilograms. Okay,
yeah, he's a big dude.
Well, you eat 360 in this way, but okay, Milo said that Nasser was eating half a kilogram of protein. Yeah, it sounds a lot, but Krizo is also big. Anyway, protein is king, I believe. And better to overeat protein in bodybuilding contests around undereating protein, okay? Yeah. But when we're not using gear, I believe we barely can metabolize that much amount. Yeah. One part will be converted to carbs, another to fat, okay? It definitely will protect the muscle tissue, but if we not burn these extra calories, they're gonna be stored as fat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long, I don't know if there's any actual evidence or studies that show that when you're on gear, you can assimilate more protein. I think there are.
Yeah, definitely. The nitrogen retention is much better. It's improved. Come on. And even with insulin more. But you build more muscle tissue because it increases the DNA synthesis, testosterone.
Because I remember Ronnie Coleman talks about when he started working with Chad Nichols back in 1998. One of the first things Chad did, he doesn't mention what he did with his PEDs, but he says he had him over a period of a couple months take his every meal go from 10 ounces of meat eventually to 16 ounces of meat every meal.
He was eating more and doing also more cardio, but he said that switch from I took vitamin A, D, C, E, and it was something new for me. So I believe that Ronnie was not natty before Chad, but he was taking perhaps very average gear, and then he took just what other people were using, like Nasser or Flex. And it was just the genetic factor and also the strength of running. Of course, the food, but then he was equal with other guys in the PDs.
Yeah. I mean, it's, for people that don't think food is that important, all these guys I talk to, just as important as the PEDs, maybe more so, I think, because if you don't eat enough food,
you don't have the building blocks. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know that Lee Haney was eating more and doing also more, a lot of cardio, I guess, during competing. He was eating more actually because he was also doing double seasons of training, and he was getting ripped because he was burning those calories, but he was overeating not to be exhausted. Crazy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the old school way. The old school guys didn't bulk up and get fat in the off season. They would grow into shows. They would eat more food. That's when they would go on the gear. They weren't on gear year round, and they would get bigger and leaner all the way up to the show.
Yeah, Jay told me he never went below 400 grams during low fast. You know, he was a big dude, of course.
Yeah.
Gaspari never below, and Dory never below 200. Okay. So, yes, that's the old school approach.
Okay. Final question for the week. Does doctor have any experience with Post Finasteride Syndrome and how to recover it with depression and low sex drive?
Yes, there are a few guys that were using finasteride, and after they stopped it, they totally regret it and they said, I want my hair back, and I don't care about my, I want my libido back, I don't care my hair.
Yeah.
So John Chrysler, the late John Chrysler mentioned that we can use progesterone that antagonizes DHT. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing, of course, is also to administrate DHT, which is synthetic, proviron. And then, well, when you have Post Finasteride Syndrome, it means that your DHT tank is tanked, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's low. So you can increase DHT by administrating either testosterone proviron, but also while you have the Post Finasteride Syndrome, you can give progesterone that lowers also DHT.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Those are all our questions for this week, doctor. Guys, if you have questions for the doctor for next week, please leave them in the comments below. You can just leave comments in general. We love to hear your feedback. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications on YouTube and on your mobile device. And that's it. We are so lucky to have Dr. Touliatos here every week answering your questions. And if you're making it to the Olympia, you can hear him live and in person on, it's a sat. What time are you going on?
So I fly on November 1st, Wednesday, and I arrive in Orlando at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And then the next day we have the registration, huh?
Yeah, but when's your part of the Olympia University? When do you speak?
I think it's Friday and Saturday.
Okay, cool. So check that out, guys. The website for anyone who's asking is MrOlympia.com. Very easy to remember. All the information you need for the Olympia, tickets, schedule, list of all the competitors competing. It's all there on MrOlympia.com. So if you're headed to Orlando, I strongly suggest you take a look at that. There's a lot of stuff going on over 3 days there. You don't want to miss out on anything that you really want to see and be there for. So definitely check out. Great opportunity, Olympia University. Get a little bit of education while you're there. Why not? Yeah, while you're checking out the good show. So that's it. Thank you, Dr. T. Appreciate you every week here. And appreciate you guys out there watching our show. Wouldn't have a show without you. So we'll see you right here next time on Ask Dr. Testosterone. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.